Houston. So yesterday, Hobby Airport reached 90 degrees. It broke a record set back in 1977. Bush reached 86 degrees. The record was 85. Broke a record back into 1948. And we're not done there yet. We could potentially be setting a record today, tomorrow, Wednesday, even into Thursday possibly. Today we're forecasting 84 degrees, but the high is only 86. So we're really on the edge there, but tomorrow forecasting 86, the high's 84. Wednesday 85, the record 85 as well. So we're teetering back and forth these next couple of days. We're a handful of degrees off from these highs, but noticing once we get to Thursday, our high temperatures decrease. That's because there's rain coming on into the forecast, and it's going to cool us down to the 70s and those lows to the 50s. So finally, fall is in the forecast. Lots of rain over the next couple of days. Those chances increase by Wednesday into Thursday, Friday. These are going to be the best days we see rain, but then going into next weekend, we still are watching those rain chances persist. Even looking long range to the Thanksgiving holiday, there's rain in the forecast. This is why we have this storm system on the coast of California. It's brought inches of rain to them. It's called an atmospheric river. It's making its way across the country the next couple of days. It's very calm here in central portions of the U.S., but it won't be come a few days from now. This is where our rain chances are coming. Now, how much rain are we going to get? Well, it's beneficial and it's needed. The drought continues to worsen across our area. We're expecting anywhere from 2.5, 3, pushing even 4 inches of rain in isolated areas. This is nice, but what isn't nice is if all this falls at once, the flash flooding potential grows. So we need the rain, but we don't need it falling all at once. Hoping this spreads out over a couple of days instead of really Thursday night into Friday. But noting because of this potential, Friday is already highlighted in a risk of excessive rainfall leading to flash flooding. This is issued by the Weather Prediction Center. So right now we're at a level 1. We'll continue to watch this over the next couple of days because right now North Texas looks to be getting that bulk end of that rain. If it moves south a little bit, this could get upgraded and worth watching. Long range, more rain is in the forecast going out to that Thanksgiving holiday. And it's hard to believe we are 10 days away from Thanksgiving and we still have 80s in the forecast.
It is. We'll get there though. It'll cool off.
It will. It'll feel a lot cooler if you're wet from the rain, that's for sure.
And then we'll be like, boy, I wish it would be warmer.
Well, we had a little bitty cold front that came through last weekend,
Yeah,
weekend before last. All I wanted was it to be warmer. All right, Faith, thanks for hanging in there with us today. Hey, we have some breaking news right now out of Galveston to share with you this morning. A shooting investigation is now underway. The victim is an elderly woman. Happened around 4:45 this morning along Dominic Road. That's in the city's east side. Police say EMS was called to the home after a medical device reported a potential emergency. The woman's husband is now being interviewed by investigators. No arrests have been made at this time. Not sure exactly what's going on with this, but as soon as we bring you more, we certainly will at fox26houston.com. But you see all the police tape there as this is underway. So we'll let you know when we find out more. Well, the FAA is lifting all those cuts to commercial flights put into place during the government shutdown. Went into effect earlier this morning, so things are going to get a lot lighter at our airports.
Yeah, getting back to normal, airlines will return to their regular flight schedules. For about a week, flights were restricted due to the staffing shortages. Cancellations hit their highest point November 9th when airlines cut nearly 3,000 flights. Travelers say they're glad that things are getting back to normal before the holidays.
You know, just seeing all the stuff on social media about it being long and all that.
I'm glad that it ended before Thanksgiving. I've got family coming into town. Looks like they'll be able to make it here.
So the Transportation Secretary says they will now focus on hiring more air traffic controllers and revamping their systems with new equipment. Maybe that's, one good thing that's come out of this is it's really put a spotlight on the fact that we need more air traffic controllers so that, that helps to keep everything moving safely and smoothly.
Yeah, in case anything ever happens again, they'll have more people to work with. Well, we finally have more clarity on when you could see those SNAP benefits return. The Agriculture Department says all SNAP recipients must reapply for their benefits. Secretary Brooke Rollins claims there's data from 29 states that shows at least 6,000 deceased people are receiving the benefits, meaning someone is getting them in their name. The Trump administration wants to crack down on fraud. SNAP recipients are already required to recertify their applications every 6 to 12 months. Still unclear at this point how or when you would need to reapply, but definitely need to look into that. Right now, we want to take you to D.C. for an event being hosted by Health and Human Services Secretary RFK Jr.
Yeah, this is a leadership forum discussing a new food and allergy fund. So let's listen in.
Things that we have to look at. The aluminum adjuvants are designed to increase the immune response and to hyperactivate your immune system. And they do that along the they cause Th2 inflammation, which creates IG2, which the gentleman up here were talking about mediated pathway. So when you give, there are many studies that show when you give animals aluminum adjuvants, they do develop allergies to proteins that are in the vaccine when they're given that, or that they're exposed to in the ambient environment. And so that's something that we need to look at. And there's a couple of scientists, a guy called Anthony Mawson from the University of Mississippi and another scientist called Cowlings from Europe that have looked at allergies in vaccinated children versus unvaccinated children. And I think Mawson's study found that vaccinated children had 30 times the rate of allergic rhinitis as unvaccinated children. And the hypothesis is that when you get that aluminum vaccine, if there's a Timothy weed outbreak at that time, and maybe that might give you a lifetime allergy to Timothy weed if you're sensitized by the aluminum at that time. But again, we don't know. I mean, the problem is there haven't been any human cohort studies. There's lots and lots of animal studies. Why didn't CDC or NIAID do those human studies? Because it's pretty easy to figure this out, and we will figure it out.
In general, it seems that food allergy is the perfect storm, right? It's multiple factors that have come to a peak and a crescendo in this generation. To your point, in terms of early introduction and exposure, the only thing I craved my entire pregnancy was peanuts. I ate cans and cans of peanuts, probably too many peanuts, more than any human being should eat. But nevertheless, we talk to hundreds and thousands of families every year in the work that we do, and all of them have done early introduction, and it works for some, it doesn't work for others. And for the kids who are already living with food allergies, and for the adults who are developing allergies later in life as well, half are now starting in adulthood. We need to look at all these factors that are contributing to the rise in the disease.
Yeah, there may be many factors. There may be only one. We don't know. Why don't we know? Because there's been basically malpractice in the government-funded scientific community. Why wasn't this a question that was being asked, that was being demanded? As soon as this allergy started to appear, why weren't we putting out, requests for proposals saying, tell us why this is starting? And instead it became a verboten subject. You weren't allowed to study it. And science warned each other against studying it. And so, we're going to study it now. We're going to break that omerta. We're going to end the taboo, and we're going to find out what's causing it.
It's a very exciting moment. Food allergy is in much needed research, certainly. What do you see as the single most decisive step that this administration can take to end the childhood chronic disease epidemic?
I would say if I had to guess about, the most important exposures, I would point my finger at ultra-processed food. And again, it's a criminal that we do not have a clear answer to that right now. But there is a lot of accumulating scientific data and scientific studies that and also just common sense that point to ultra-processed foods there's all kinds of, I mean, our kids are swimming around in a toxic soup, microplastics, EMF radiation, and then, pesticides, and, all of these toxic exposures that are affecting them from birth. And so addressing, though, in a specific sense, President Trump has asked us to address those, to identify what the culprits are, and then to eliminate them. And then I think, in a broader sense, we need to realign. We need to make sure that we're getting gold standard science, and that the science is not responsive to prejudice or to bias or to official orthodoxies, that people are allowed to ask questions, and they're allowed to question everything, and that there's nothing that is off bounds. I think Jay Bhattacharya is working really successfully to redirect, to recalibrate the compass at NIH, where people feel safe researching formally taboo subjects. And that's what he said to me from day one, is we need to break the taboos so people can ask questions. And then, I think the sort of the last category is what we're doing at CMS, which is to realign the perverse incentives that incentivize everybody, the hospitals, the doctors, the scientists, the government, to keep people sick. We literally are incentivized to keep people sick. You can make more money by keeping the hospitals make more money, the doctors make more money, the insurance companies make more money. Everybody's making more money for keeping us sick. No matter how good-hearted you are as an individual, those incentives will affect societal behavior. And what we're trying to do is to realign those incentives so that you can do well by doing good, that people are going to be rewarded for making their patients better rather than for giving them a bunch of tests. Then,
RFK Jr. there speaking live as he hosts a food and allergy leadership forum. Really has been spending a lot of time concentrating on how these things affect everyday lives and then making differences to try to help the health of the nation, which is poor. And a lot of times diet has a big problem, a big part to do with it.
Talking about the hazards of processed food and just all of the different chemicals and things, and putting a spotlight on food allergies as well. So we'll continue to keep you posted on what we learn coming from that forum.
And we do know that one of the big things that they're working on is getting all those artificial dyes out, and those plans are already in place, and you will start seeing a lot more natural colors coming in your food. It won't be in bright and pretty, but it should be a whole lot better for your body.
Talking this morning about Doritos are coming out with, they're removing some of those dyes, and they're calling the chips naked because they're not going to look the same.
You won't have those orange fingers anymore, maybe after eating them.
Well, back here closer to home, a new report from the New York Times is revealing some shocking new details and a more detailed timeline of what happened at Camp Mystic in the early morning hours of the Kerr County floods.
The floods killed 28 people alone at that camp. The article reveals camp owner Dick Eastland was awake at 1 in the morning, checking on the weather forecast when all of that was just heading their way. He was in constant communication with his son Edward, who runs Camp Mystic, we're told. The New York Times says by 3 in the morning, things took a turn for the worse, and that's when staff began loading girls into pickup trucks to get them to safety. Crash data logs show Dick Eastland's SUV was swept away by the water and crashed into a tree around 3:50, killing him and 3 other campers he was trying to rescue. We know families of victims have filed lawsuits against the camp claiming negligence, saying the camp waited too long to evacuate those little girls. Texas lawmakers are planning to hold hearings about what exactly happened, but we have not been told a date. I don't think that has been set just yet.
Just horrific, such a horrific event. But I'm glad we're finding out a little bit more about what happened. And you are taking a live look right now at West Houston Assistance Ministries. This is where the Houston Food Bank is holding a food drive this morning. This is going on until noon, and this is for people who are struggling still because maybe they didn't get their full or even any SNAP benefits this month, or maybe these are federal workers who haven't had their paychecks coming. These food distributions, there are a number of them still going on. You do need to register for these. So you can go to the Houston Food Bank website, and we've got a link to it on the front page of fox26houston.com. But if you are in need of food right now, you can register for these events. They also have that great map where you can put in your zip code and you can find food pantries that are near you. So if you are in need of food, don't suffer alone. Reach out. You could just register there on the site and get some resources to help you through.
And it was so touching last week as we had reporters out there at a lot of the different drives talking to the people who were receiving that food, and they were in tears, and they said it just makes such a huge difference for them waiting for SNAP. They were desperate. They didn't know how they were going to feed their families. So I'm so thankful that the Houston Food Bank has been getting enough donations and that they are able to do this for everybody. It's a big blessing.
Yeah, I mean, it's really been a hardship. These are families that live on the edge day to day anyway. And then I was kind of actually really impressed at the strength of some of the mothers that I talked to, because honestly, in some ways, they're so used to so many hardships and difficult things. They kind of just rolled with it in many ways, because I was like, I'd be a puddle on the floor.
Oh, goodness, seriously.
All right. Well, one local restaurant is kicking off the holiday season this week by giving back to those in need.
Hey, that's a way to do it. Ruben Dominguez is live at the Spot Lounge and Bar to talk about their Week of Giving event. I love this, Ruben.
Yeah, guys, that's right. The Spot showing up along with some local food trucks, some small businesses coming out here in a time of need. I've got Alex with me from The Spot. How'd you guys decide that you wanted to be part of this thing and make this thing happen?
Well, we celebrate culture and community here at The Spot, and it's the giving season. So with that being said, we are kicking off our Week of Giving, and we have 3 amazing food trucks that are going to be here this Monday through Thursday from 12 p.m. to 1 p.m. Come get your food, no questions asked.
How many meals per day?
100 meals a day.
100 meals per day, folks. That's right. Pull up. All right, Tim.
How you doing,
Wing Boys.
Yes, sir.
What's
Yes,
happening,
sir.
man? Let's go through some of this delicious food, because you guys are going to be one of the trucks that's being offered. Let's start over here. Tell me.
That's our wing dinner.
That's our famous wings.
Famous wing dinner.
You going to tell me what the secret recipe is?
They say we kick hard like Jackie Chan, but better than Jimmy Chan.
Facts. All right, Manuel, tell me. Gumbo?
This gumbo contains blue crab, shrimp, sausage, and chicken. And it's a recipe that's been passed down from generations and generations.
All right, so when we're done here, I need you to write it down for me, okay?
I got you.
All right, got you. Chef, knocking it out over there, man. You going to talk to me about the...
Right here we have catfish and shrimp, homemade French fries, and all our fish comes from the Gulf, and no international waters,
Fresh and local.
Yeah, fresh and local.
All right, so you guys are going to be here, and the cool thing is, guys, the Tamale Shack is here. We've got Lust for Crust is here, some incredible pizzas. So there's lots to choose from. 12 o'clock to 1. The goal is to feed folks in the community that could use a meal.
Yes, sir.
All right, so
Not just any meal.
Not just any
Not
meal.
just any
This
meal.
is
a great meal.
This is top shelf.
Top shelf, yes,
I
sir.
love this. And I've been sampling the food. I got to tell you, man, everything this morning has been incredible. How long has Wing Boys been? How long you guys been running the truck?
We've been running the truck now about 8 months. About 8 months.
over.
Been at it about roughly what?
2 years.
2 years.
Yeah. And you guys post up quite often here at the Spot?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. At least
What
one
is
twice
the
a week.
reaction from the people the first time they try Wing Boys?
They go crazy. They go crazy.
Yeah?
They have to come back and see us again. It's a blessing to be here. You will love it, and the reaction we get from the people, I wouldn't change it. I wouldn't change it for nothing in the world.
So how do we find you guys on social media?
Wing Boys, Boys with 2 Z's.
Boys with 2 Z's.
Yes,
All right,
sir.
man. Show them some love, guys. You got to follow these dudes. Let them know what's happening. The Spot is here right on Emancipation and Lounge and Bar. And I'm telling you, the food, amazing.
And if they can't find us here, they can find us at 4601 Reed Road.
4601 Reed Road.
Can't come by here, we're not here. 4601 Reed Road.
I love it. Well, the only thing I haven't tried this morning is Wing Boys, and as soon as we get done doing this, I'm digging in. The guys have a fresh batch coming up for me. 12 to 1 p.m., guys. I just want everybody to know what's going on here. 12 o'clock to 1 p.m. We've got Lust for Crust. We've got the Tamale Shack, Houston, right there. That is classic Mississippi Delta style tamales. If you've never had it, you need to try it. Lust for Crust. Pizzas, wings with a little bit of Jamaican flair to it. Absolutely delicious. You've already seen what Wing Boys is doing for you guys here. That's Boys with 2 Z's. So come on out. If you're anywhere in the area, you know somebody might need a meal, this is the place to do it, sending you back to the studio.
That is so wonderful to see the way that they are stepping up and helping people. Really,
100 meals.
Yeah,
The true
100.
spirit of Thanksgiving and the holidays. It's a beautiful thing to do. All right,
That's
Ruben.
right.
Thanks for showing us.
See you guys.
All right, see ya. And we'll see you after a quick break.
Paul's here. The leads are